First, I was going to commend everybody for sticking it out today on a Friday. You know, you guys are troopers. I'm far too ADHD to sit in the same spot for too long. But then I learned you guys are really still just trying to get a trip to Vegas, so I understand that. That makes sense. Sometimes they let me draw it. I'll take some bribes if we get a chance. Now, my topic today is improving your drill work. So I know there's been a lot of discussion about how to teach in the drills that you're doing, so I hope that I don't overlap too much anything else that anyone's done. My topic came from Dan Becker, so it took me a while to kind of figure out exactly what he was wanting me to talk about. But before I get these guys competing, there's just a couple of things about improving your drill work that I think can definitely help, and things that I do. I'm sure that you all go into practice with a practice plan. Just take a little bit of time and get organized and figure out before you go in exactly what you want to do. I'm fortunate that that's a part of my job, so I get time daily to sit down, and depending on my ADHD, it takes me longer some days than others. If you're able to be somewhat tech savvy, save them, because I always go back. So for example, I'll sit down and I'll look at what we did in practice yesterday. I open it up. It is valuable information. You know, as you look at what you've done this week or what you did yesterday, maybe you make some notes on it. I will often go back and say, what did I do on October 24th, 5 years ago? Take a look. We're talking about drills, so there's lots of times where I'll go back and I'll look through what I did sort of the month of September last year, and I'll say, oh shoot, I forgot about that drill. So there's things that I forget. So having a chance to go back, and it's nothing fancy, it's just a Word document, and I save it in the folder and I know what year it is huge for me. Like I said, I'm getting old, so I will forget sometimes, and some of the best stuff will be things that I've done and haven't done in a while. It can also be an evaluation. So at the end of the year, if you have all your practice plans, you can look and say, you know, my team was really crummy at transition defense. You look at all the drills. I don't time everything out necessarily on my plan, but it gives me a pretty good idea of what I spent my time on during the season. Now, you guys have less time than I do probably and less practices, but it is a benefit to be able to look back after the fact and say, you know, there's a correlation between the fact that we didn't work on our defense and we gave up 120 a night. So just go in there with a plan. The last thing, and I don't know how these teams are shaken down, but for me it's important to have all of our teams and everything sorted out as we go in. So if we're going to do 3 different teams, which I have these guys in right now, I want to make sure each team has a point guard. Each team has appropriate matchups. If there was ever a tussle in practice where 2 guys had a big time disagreement, you can expect on my practice plan they'll be on the same team probably for the rest of the year. So maybe you want to see matchups that people are playing against or whatever the case may be. It saves a lot of time getting into practice. You know, sometimes we'll have 2 teams at the start and 3 teams at the end, so it's valuable to know who's going to be playing with who. If you can, put it up on a board so the guys can change when they're getting a water break. They kind of know who's on their team and who they're playing with. It's also good for me to take a look and say, these 2 guys haven't practiced together on a team in the last 7 days and they played poorly together Friday night. So once again, the chance to look back on some of the things that you're doing. So having your teams sorted out so that they're competitive and you can see what you want to do, whether it's a freshman with 4 senior guys so that they can kind of help him through some of the things that he's struggling with. The other thing I would encourage you to try to do, if you can, and everybody has different resources, and for me, I just try to make the best of it, I would encourage you to film your practice sometimes. So we usually just set a camera up in the corporate suite. It doesn't get the entire court. I don't pay someone to run it the entire time, but the camera is up there, and that's a huge tool. First, it's a great tool for me to go back and watch myself, how I look and how I sound, what I actually said. Did I make any sense? And probably most of the time I don't, and that's why the guys didn't understand what was going on. So it's good just to watch yourself, and like I said, it doesn't take much to plug the camera in and hit play and go back and look at it after the fact. The ability to pause and rewind. I mean, I don't see everything that's going on in practice, so when I watch it the next day, just to pause it, rewind, maybe the players were right and I was wrong, which is another excellent thing to do. If I can ever catch on there where the players were right and I was wrong, I will for sure put that in our film session to show them that I'm going to make some mistakes too. We have to work together. We have to have cohesive relationship back and forth. So that is always something that I try to do early in the year to make sure that, hi Ross, you need me up there? You're saving me? I told Ross that if I'm bombing, to get me out of here. Okay, so obviously it's time for me to go. Okay, Adam has to go. So showing that you make mistakes on the film is positive. It can be great to bring individual people in and show them. You can give them an easy film of your set actions or the drill that you did last week that the kid did well or didn't do well. It's a good learning tool. The other thing is that the camera sees a lot of things. I mean, you think you see everything that goes on in practice. I see all kinds of things on the camera after watching practice that are valuable for me. So an example from this year early on, the guys were doing something that I wasn't happy with. Everybody has to do 10 push-ups. You know, it's a minor thing, 10 push-ups. Now this gives you a semblance of the quality of my social life, but as I'm watching practice later on, I say to myself, I wonder how many guys did 10 push-ups. Like I'm talking to my coaches, I can see on the film, everybody's doing push-ups, and well, of course I have to count now, 15 guys, rewind, count this guy's push-ups, count this guy's. And I caught a couple guys that did 8. So, you know, it was the next day we had a little video session. I want to show you some great things from practice. And when it starts with everybody doing push-ups, they're looking at me like, Coach, just count them. Just take your time. Let's watch 8 and see how many this guy did. You know, so sometimes it's catching a lot of things that are going on that, you know, you think you're having a great practice. So that's an example. Now, I don't see any of my guys here. There's also days where we just set the camera up and we don't even record. So once you do it in the first week and you catch them on film doing whatever, that camera, as long as it doesn't have a big blinking red light, I don't see one on this one, they never know if they're going to be in the office the next day looking at that. Now, you don't maybe have time to do all of those things, but from time to time they can be really valuable. So, you know, just a couple things to think about with your drill work if you have the ability to. So before these guys get playing, improving our drill work, you guys are going to already have run the drills. So I'm not going to run new drills. Most of it is going to be sort of 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 competitive stuff based on what they're doing. So the majority of what I'm going to talk about is how you can set your scoring to get what you really want to emphasize through your drills. So I will talk about how the drill will be scored. They'll go play for 2 or 3 minutes. As soon as we kind of get the gist of it, we'll move on to the next scoring setup. So they're maybe going to struggle a little bit. You guys are in charge of making sure that your practices are competitive. So I won't tell you that if they lose, they have to do 1,000 push-ups or run a suicide, or the better your team is, probably the more competitive they are and the less you actually have to do to get them to create a really intense environment. But by keeping score and having a winner and loser, you get to simulate the last possession of the game 15 times in practice. If we're playing a game to 7, 10 times in practice, there was 10 times where there's a winner or loser on that possession, and that is really valuable in my mind. So it's up to you guys to get the intensity level that you want based on maybe ramifications of winning or losing. So I'm going to go through a bunch of different scoring systems for how you can do stuff that you already do and maybe get a different result. Now, it will be inevitable that one of these guys will quit playing and say, well, isn't the score... And you don't want them to think about necessarily how the score works. So maybe I would just -5 off of their score if they did that for stopping play. You can use it however you want. So give me the blue team on the foul line down there. Give me 5 guys across the foul line. And white team, you go behind them. And red team, you're going to be on defense here. Okay, so it's 5-on-5 and you need your sub. So we're just going to come down. The blue team's going to go 5-on-5. So this is if we have three teams, you guys are working on your offense or whatever you're doing. This is going to be about shot selection. So the scoring here, and I love to do it, especially with my guys. If these guys went and played 5-on-5, they would all take horrible shots and no one would have a problem with it. And it would be great. I take a really deep 3 and I take a hook shot I've never made in my life, and we don't run the offense. And we're having a great time. We're just playing. So now we have a winner or a loser. These guys are going to come down. So you're going to play 5-on-0. Now, red team, if you get a defensive stop you take the ball and you go where white team is, you get to play offense. So you can't play offense until you get a defensive stop. So now if the big fella walks up the floor and shoots a 35-footer, the blue team has to play D. So I will let them sort out what they think is a good shot today. Now if the ramification at the end of this thing is something they don't want to do, the likelihood that they won't like the big fella's 35-footer early in the clock will be higher. That makes my job a little bit easier. So you guys are going to go, if you score, take the ball, go to the back of the line. Okay, let's go. You need a ball. Okay, move it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Perfect. He shot the 30-footer. Now red team goes to the back of the line. Blue team's got to play D. The score is 0-0 still. Now we're going to play a game to 3, and they got to do 3,500 push-ups if they lose. Okay, white team, go. Come on, white team, let's go. Okay, you're out, let's go. Come on, red team, let's go. So now these guys don't have any structure. Obviously, you guys will be running your set actions or whatever the case may be, and they're also not highly into what's going on. Good rebound. Defensive stop. But you can see if you have your group set up, you regularly do 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 shell drill, how eventually you're going to iron out your 7-footer taking a long 3-point shot, an early shot. You can see how that would hopefully garner a little conversation among your own team about what they want to do. Okay, so that's a turnover, red team. Now this might be the best defensive group I've ever seen because we have not scored yet. So I probably shouldn't ruin anything that these guys do. Okay, foul, count the bucket, foul, count the bucket. White team, go back to the end. Blue, you got to stay on D. Okay, keep going. So the other thing about this scoring setup is if your best scorer doesn't want to play any D, you can leave him down here for the entire drill until he gets a defensive stop. Kick it out, shoot that. Good shot. Okay, we understand how the scoring could iron that stuff out. Okay, hold on. Set it up, so red team, hold on, hey, white team, stop. Okay, white team's going to come down again. We're going to change the scoring again, so we talked about it. I need you to hold the ball when I talk, okay? So you get a stop, you get to play offense. It will take care of some of your shot selection conversations. Like I said, it's better for me not to have those conversations. I'm sure on every team there is more than 1 or 2 guys, and if you watch at 6 o'clock tonight, we will have 12 guys that think they're going to make every single shot every single time they touch it. I probably don't agree with that as much. So we let them kind of sort it out based on the fact that now the red team was on D down here. They got no stops. They got the leading scorer, but he can't play any D, and they have to lose and they have to run. Okay? So the next one will be just ball control. So you just add a minus to the score. So you keep the same setup. If you score, you bring it back here. You're building your score. If you get a defensive rebound, you come back. Now it's minus 100 if you turn the ball over. Okay, go. No turnovers. So the worst case scenario, we're going to get a shot. We are not going to dribble it into traffic. That would be a turnover in my world. They're now at negative 100. Red team, that's a stop. Go, blue. Good move. There you go. Keep the white team in there on D. Let's go, red. Let's go, red. Quick. So you can play it however you want to score it. You would just take points off for their turnovers, which right now there would be 4 guys just all over this guy for making a difficult pass. Today, probably not the case. Good move. Make a layup, big guy. Shoot it. White team, hold up. Okay, great shot. Now red team stuck down there. They're playing D. Blue team, bring it back. So just adding some sort of ramification for a turnover. Now, we're going to score it where every bucket is 1 point. but a defensive rebound, I'll give you 5. So say we're playing a game to 9. If you get an offensive rebound, it's worth 5 points. So every single shot goes, what are you going to do? Big fella's like loving this drill already. He's like, yep, I was born for this drill. What do you have to do when a shot goes? Okay, and we're going to test out their blockouts from Coach McKay earlier. Hey, if they get an offensive rebound, it's 5 points, and you got to do 1,000 suicides. So what are you going to do when a shot goes up? Are you going to block out? Go ahead. So once again, it kind of puts the onus on the team. Oh, I think he tried to miss that shot on purpose to get his own rebound. Okay, that's a stop. You're out. Go ahead. It puts the onus on the group of guys that are working together to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to get through. Good. Turnover, whether or not you're scoring. Go ahead. Good, move it. 6, 5, 4. Okay, hold up. Okay, turnover, switch it. Red team. Now, red. Boys, hey, red team. You seem to be at this end a lot. Let's see if we can sort out a way to get on the offensive side right now. So this is where, if you do it day after day, obviously they're going to get a better feel for what they're doing. I don't expect these guys to be ultra competitive, but they're playing relatively hard. That was good. So another way to score it so that you get the shots that you want. Now, boys, I need you to listen and think about this. If you get a layup, it's worth 3. Okay, any layup. So if I think it's a layup, I'll give you 3 points for it. Any other shot that you make is only worth 1. So you understand? So that quick trigger 3 is not as valuable as if we could reverse the ball 2 or 3 times and get ourselves a layup. Does that make sense? Okay, go ahead. So now this takes a little bit of the irrational confidence guy that wants to hit every guarded 3-point shot, and it changes the, there you go. Oh, man. O board? Oh, okay. Out of here. Great rebound. Good job. So it takes a little bit of onus on the team to accomplish what you're asking them to accomplish. And I'm not sure if anyone in here would disagree. Now, I wouldn't call that a layup. I'm only going to give you 1. But you still get to stay on offense, so that's not bad. Once again, I'm sure that you guys would rather get more layups than guarded jump shots. You change your scoring in this form or fashion. Hopefully they're going to compete. I don't know if there was an old board there. One more possession. You need a layup, boys. Layup wins. Next layup wins the game. Rebound it. Pressure. Here we go. Let's go, White. Next layup wins the game. Everybody else has to do push-ups. Good. Turnover. Let's go. Come on, Red. Come on, Red. Yeah, of course. 4 on 5. Shoot it. You need a layup. There you go. Eight, 7, 6. Travel. Turnover. Here we go. Next team. Last group. Here they come. Match up. Great job. Hey, stop. Now, first, listen. Hey, they like that layup. That was impressive. Now, both teams, red team, thank you for letting them do a layup so that we could move on to the next scoring. Way to go to the rim. You could see probably as we started to do it that way, there probably would have been a bunch of jump shots in the 7 or 8 possessions prior to that guys decided to turn down. I'm not sure about you, but I love when my team will turn down a guarded jump shot and try to get a layup. So when we do this, it somewhat forces them. You also get to get a gauge on how irrational their confidence may be when they still think that I can hit enough singular point, 3-point shots. Travis Cron. I can hit enough of these and we will still win. So it gives you a little bit of a section, an understanding of that. Okay, now blue team. I want you to go down on the baseline down here. So Now we'll shift the emphasis to getting back on defense, which is sometimes problematic. We're going to play 5-on-5, so the white team bring the ball under your arm so it's not bouncing. And we're always going to change ends. Bring it, just like come down. So they're going to play 5-on-5. Hey, hold the ball. If they hit a three-point shot, they've got 0 points right now. They must get a defensive stop at this end to get their 3 points. So they make it 2. They've got 2 in the bucket, if you will. If they get a defensive stop at that end, then they actually get their points. So what we're trying to hopefully hammer into them is how important it is to not change buckets. Once again, some teams probably think that they could just outscore the other team, and maybe they will sometimes. But the nights when you're really scoring and you're giving up buckets and you lose, that's a tough one to swallow. So they only get their points if they get a defensive rebound at this end. So they're going to play 5-on-5. If it's a turnover, red team is going to go in transition. If they score, they can only get their buckets. So they're going to play until there's a score and then a stop, and we'll look at what the score is. You guys are looking at me like I don't know what's going on. Play until I ask you to stop. Okay? You have to score and then get a defensive rebound, and we'll kill it, and then we'll give you the points for your bucket. Got it? Big fella, you're good? Okay, ball's in. Let's go. Oh, we're checking. This is getting serious now. Oh, board. Good, swing it, big fella. Okay, you got to get back. Go, red team. Take it out of bounds and bring it up the floor. White team, you just played. Hey, stop. Thank you, big fella. Here we go. So they got a chance to get 2 if they can get a rebound. Okay, now pause. Stop. Hey, I'm going to let you play. White team will get 2 points if they can get a stop. So once again, going back to valuing your possession, if the red team comes down here and takes a ridiculous shot, that's an easy 2 points for the other team. So the quality of red's possession right now, with 0 shot clock, they better not take a tough shot. They better not take a guarded shot. They better not drive it into trouble. Hey, I'll give you guys the double foul and bring some subs in here. So the quality of red's possession now, hopefully, as they start to understand the scoring system, will go up. We'll see what red pulls off on the offensive end here. If they score, they have to get back to this end and get a stop. Okay, ball's in. Check again. Oh, there you go. Stop. Okay, so that would be 2-0 white. Blue team, you come in. We'll go one more. White, you're scoring against blue. Red, you're out. Here we go. One more time, just so we get an understanding. Play till we ask you to stop. White team, you're going 5-on-5. Okay, horn. Come on, big fella. You got to come all the way to the table if you want to get in. Okay, there you go. Horn. No referees in here. Who's subbing you in for? There you go. Yep. Go. Play 5-on-5. Go. Oh, good cut. Good. Hey, go blue team, go, till a bucket. Turnover, white ball. White ball, let's go. Oh, good help. Okay, 6, 5. Rebound it, push, go. Go. Hey, stop. We understand? We're good? Okay, next one. Red team, come in for the white team. They're gassed. White team, you go down on this end. Blue team, just keep playing until I ask you to stop. We're good. Okay, red team up here, quick. Okay, so once again, changing the scoring system to get what you want. If red team scores, they'll stay. It's 1 point. So they just run their offense over and over, 1 point, 1 point. On any defensive rebound, so you guys need to get a stop for me, please. You're going to go in transition. So they score, they stay. On a defensive rebound, they go in transition, and I'll give them true value for whatever they get at this end. So if they hit a 3, they get 3. So we score on our first possession. We really want to make sure that we get back true value out of transition, and then it's dead there on that possession. So it's red 5-on-5. Any defensive rebound, you go. Red team can only get 1 point at a time, so they got to score 7 possessions in a row to win a game to 7. Blue team, if you hit a 3 in transition, that's worth 3. A layup is also worth 2 and probably a better chance at this point. Okay, here we go. Ball's in. Check it up. There you go. There's that. Oh. Okay, stop. So we would just now run our offense, whatever it is, 5-on-5. It's 1-0 red. Now for me, in terms of scoring, once things get really competitive, now I can dictate it. Now, how many passes were on the same side of the floor over there? Like 17 in that left corner. I would have for sure called a turnover and punished them whatever the score is for the turnover, or they would lose possession at bare minimum. So if they don't run the quality of what you're liking to see, and the score matters to them, I don't have to get on them for staying on the first side of the floor. I can only turn it over, and I get the same result. And now hopefully they talk about it, and instead of being mad at me, they figure out how they're going to get a stop. So blue team, you go. Go ahead. So once again, if they score, they get 1. Red team has a chance to score up to 3 points in transition. Go, go, go! So this is a potential 3-point play. Stop. Okay, stop. Now, we just worked so hard to get this defensive rebound, and we've got a chance to get 2 or 3 points. Now we got to take care of the ball. So this is where, if the score is on the board and they know that there's a winner and loser, right now these guys are playing, so there's not as much pressure. I'm pro for creating the pressure of winning and losing, like I said, as many times as you can in your practice, so that when you get into that first game of the year and you are down 1 and you have the ball, it's not the first time you've ever done that. Hopefully you know what you're going to do in that situation, or at least your kids are semi-calm. Okay, so now it's blue ball in the half court. I'll give you one more possession and we'll move on. Quickly, check it up, big fella. Good, well done. Hey, stop. It's blue ball again. Okay, so we understand now they run quality offense. They get 1 point, they get to stay, so the quality of their shot is good. Hey, stop. White team sub in for the blue team. It'll be white ball up top here. So we'll put an extra value on getting a stop afterwards. Now you guys are just going to play in a couple of minutes when I talk it out. Blue, there you go, you're lost. So one of the things we'll do is we'll have consecutive positive possessions. So a score and then a stop. We might give you 2 free throws for that. So we'll play 5-on-5, we'll tip it up, score and a stop. Stop the game, white did it, they get to shoot 2 free throws. So now you got pressure free throws. If they miss them both, the score is still 0-0. For this example, it'll be the first team that gets 2, sometimes we would say scores, sometimes we'll say stops because we have such a stout defensive group out here today. So the first team that can get 2 defensive stops in a row will kill it, and then one guy from that team will shoot the most pressure free throws with this crowd of all time. So you have to play until the same team gets 2 stops in a row, which I'll count, so you guys just play. Check it up, big fella. Great rebound. You guys love the 3-ball. There's one stop. Okay, red team, go. Okay, now pause. Stop, stop, stop. That was a great move. You're going to guard him. I know that he went by you because I stopped it. Hold the ball. So now, once again, valuing the possession. If red team comes down here, they know that if they get back on D the stop, they've got a chance to earn some points. So if they come up here and they fire a 40-foot pass through traffic that's picked off, and this guy leaks out and he gets a dunk, they lost a chance to score. So the quality of their offense coming here, they don't have to score. They just need to get back and get a defensive rebound. So now they're valuing the possession. Worst case scenario, shot clock violation maybe. We're going to be really patient. Red team, all you have to do is get a defensive stop back at this end and you win. White team, your best chance to score is get a steal or a rebound transition, get an easy bucket. Whatever happens, you got to score at that end. Okay, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get back, get back, get back. Go, go, go. Okay, it's white ball. White ball, here we go. This is the game stop. If white team scores, hey, stop, travel, travel, great. I'm a genius. Here we go, stop. Big fella, hey, it's not a travel, I'm just messing with you, okay? But for the sake of the drill, we'll call it a travel. And I would probably do that at some point to some of my guys just to see if it will set them off maybe, just to mess with the one team or the other potentially. So now, red team, you got 2 stops in a row. Who's your best free throw shooter? Because you traveled. That was the second stop. That's why I did it. Red team, pick a free throw shooter, please. Okay, now white team, you got to line up for the free throw. For the sake of the drill and to put like immense pressure on this young fella, we'll make it only 1 free throw. So they got their 2 stops. The only way that they can get rewarded on the score is if he makes this free throw right now. If he misses, then we would go and transition again. Okay, does this make sense? Okay, go ahead. Let's see the biggest pressure free throw of all time. Hey, there we go. Now, white team, you have to do 1,000 push-ups because you lost the game to 1. No, I'm just kidding. Blue team, sub in for whoever you want to sub for. Quickly. I've got 2 more that we're going to look at. So, give me the ball, we'll jump ball. Quickly. Hey, boys, we're 8 minutes away from making it through this thing without a meltdown. Let's get this going. Give me the ball, please. Blue team, up here. White team, over here. Red team, on the wall. Okay, so once again, value in possessions. Instead of just defensive stops, we would say 3 wins of a possession. So if the white team got a bucket, then they got a defensive stop. Now they're 1 score away from having their 3. So at a certain point, it's a pivotal possession. At some point, it's always 1-0. So if white team scores, it's 1-0. Blue team comes down, scores, it's 1-0 blue. They come back and score, it's 1-0 white. So until you follow it up with a stop and then a score, it's always going to be at 1-0. If you get a defensive stop on your first possession, you need to get a pretty good offensive possession to score, and now you need a quality defensive one coming back. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Ball's in. Oh, dead ball. Pressure that thing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Rebound it. There you go. 1-0 white. They need a score to get their second point. Blue team must get a stop. 8, 7, 6. Oh, 1-0 white. Take it and go. Oohs and ahs of the crowd. 1-0. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Rebound it. There we go. 2. Here you go. You can score this one, you win. 8, 7, 6, foul. Foul, count the bucket. Okay, once again, that's just me dictating the fact that we're not going to watch any more possessions. So 3 possessions in a row, you got to make a free throw to get your points again. Big fella, that was a good pass. Let's see if you can hit it from the stripe. Stop. Make sure we're lined up. We're always going to offensive or defensive rebound this free throw. If he makes a free throw, we'll all clap for him just like we did for the last young guy. Huge pressure. Okay, stop. Okay, so we understand hey, good job. He missed that one on purpose too, just to see if you guys were going to clap for him even though he missed. Okay, the last one I'm going to look at is just breaking your regular set offense in half so that you can work to the second point. And for us, you know, obviously we have set plays that we want to run. It's not uncommon for us to get halfway through, and I'm a poor coach, so we don't get all the way through, and I get frustrated, and I say, I would really like to see what the second half of this action might look like. So we will simulate like we've already run it through. So white team, you're on offense, and we have 5 minutes, so this is going to be a lot of thinking for us right now. We can do this. Big fella, you go in the low block there. Take that wing, and you come and be the trail post. You go to this side. Okay, let's say that this is our set play. So this is what the whole operation would look like. We'll say he's going to dribble, push it to this wing. You're going to go set a cross screen for the big fella. He's going to come across. You're going to set a down screen at the foul line. Go to the block, please. You go right there to the block. You set a down screen. You come to the top now. Use his screen. Come to the top. Okay, so this would be the first part of this set action, perhaps. And now what will kill me and probably all of you guys is that this guy will come off of this screen and he'll catch it, go in this direction, and he'll pound it 2 or 3 times back into where it came from, and it'll frustrate you. So it frustrates me. So what we'll do is we'll start the ball right here before this down screen comes. So you're going to just be right here. Now your job is to come off of this screen, swing it to the big fella. Okay, so you're going to come off here. You're going to catch it. You're going to swing it. And now it's your world to play however you would like to play. But we never ever get it to you over here because this guy likes to shoot it or dribble it too much off of this. So we're breaking down this first early action, and it will be whatever you guys like to run. This is just a simple example. So we will start it already there. So we will take the opportunity for them to turn it over or shoot it prior to this part of our offense out of their hands. What are you going to do after you catch it? Pass it over there. If he dribbles it over this way, boys, turnover, minus 1,000. Okay, here we go. Ball's in. Set him a screen, big fella. Catch it. Swing it. Good. Play. Now we're playing 5-on-5, boys. There's 8 seconds left. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we got fouled. That's genius coaching right there. Good. Now I want everyone to go back to the same starting spots quick. So the guard that was coming off the down screen, big fella, you already had yours there. You're going to set this same down screen over and over again. But all we're going to do is we're going to change spots. Take the ball. Quick. You go stand where the ball is, please, and hold on to it. You're going to come off the down screen, and you're going to play this wing. You're here. You're doing his job now. So perhaps these 3 guys are interchangeable in your offense. So now everybody's going to get one opportunity to come off of this screen where they like to dribble it too much. He's going to have to swing it over to this side, and now you're in charge of whatever possession you're going to get. The other thing that it does is, we all know as coaches that if we could ever get it to the first side and then to the second side, that the game will be easier, we'll get a better possession. Okay, we know that. The players think it's better to just shoot it immediately. We force them to reverse it. But it's also now a short clock situation where the defense is hopefully a little bit stronger. So we have to get better at finishing our possession right now. Okay, so the defense knows what's coming. They're not going to cheat the play. They should all be in help side accordingly, which as coaches we've tried to distort that by reversing the ball. So they have to play against a better set defense and finish their possession with 10 seconds left, we'll say, when he catches it. Okay, come off the down screen and swing it. Here we go. We start it right from here. Hey, could you guard the ball, please? Here we go. Come off the down screen. Good. Catch it. Swing it to the wing. Good. Now we're playing 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Great play. Okay, it's like you guys have been well coached by Dan Becker over there. You see the smile? He's like, I showed him that. I did that. Okay, I have 1 minute and 5 seconds left. Could you please give these young fellas a round of applause? You guys should all be bowing right now. Their job is really difficult. They don't know what all the coaches are going to do. I mentioned my own ADHD. They have a hard time starting and stopping and being here. They were awesome for me. I think they've been pretty good all day. So thanks for recognizing them. Just to go over the drills again. Have a plan for what you're going to do. Know what the score is going to be. Sometimes keeping track of the score and coaching can be hard if you're not used to doing it all the time. Hopefully you have someone else that can help you, or a substitution. Maybe putting the score on the clock is sometimes beneficial so the kids can look up. Using the clock gives them an understanding of where we're at. Is this going to set a horn off or explode or something? So that part can be tough. Just have a plan, go in. The more that you do these types of things, hopefully the more that they understand the things that are important to you instead of just running up and down. 1 second. If there's anything that I could do or questions, I'm around. We play at 6 o'clock tonight against the University of Northern British Columbia. Manitoba and Brandon play at 8, and it's swapped tomorrow night. So thank you so much. I hope that you all win the trip to Vegas.